Hello there gorgeous gamers, and welcome back to Pure Play TV, and we've got a review for Phantom Spark, a new time trial racer that demands the 3 P's of racing: precision, pace, and punching the sofa after failing for the 50th time in a row. It's good fun though, and it's available for PS5, PS4, Xbox, Switch and PC, and the version you're seeing here is the PS5 version, and a code for the game was provided by the publisher. Now let's get on with it. Phantom Sparks is the racer for loners, those who don't care about racing others, but do care about beating themselves. Phantom Spark is purely a time trial racer, where you compete to put your name up high on the leaderboards, if you care about that kind of thing. If you just want to enjoy the game's campaign and ignore the background competition, that's fine, but the leaderboards are there if you want to extend your playtime once you've beaten the campaign. For me, just working my way through the campaign was enough, but I always had a look to see where I placed on the leaderboards just out of curiosity, and I am probably going to go back and see if I can solve the puzzle and get myself higher on the charts. Did I just say puzzle? I did. Because in a very abstract way, that's what Phantom Spark is. It's a puzzle, with the problem being, how do I get from point A to B in the fastest possible time? The solution? Find the best racing lines and master the patience of braking and easing off at the right moment to maintain momentum. Much like me finding the right spot in this video to slip in a like, comment and subscribe plug without breaking the flow of the review. I'm giving myself a 7 out of 10 for this attempt. At first glance you might compare Phantom Spark to games such as Star Wars Pod Racing, F-Zero, Wipeout and the like, and while it does take a little inspiration from other games, it's very much its own thing. The game is set in a futuristic world where you are a spirit thing, and you inhabit different racing vehicles, taking part in races across 3 different domains, with each domain having its own champion who you'll be racing against. It's cheesy stuff, and the visual novel style cutscenes are silly but fun, and gives the game a bit of character, which is never a bad thing. Your job is to race through different challenges, beginning with the first domain and its champion. Once you've leveled up by collecting spark links, you get these by beating the set times, you unlock the next domain, as well as some customizable stuff for your avatar. Personally, I don't really care what my vehicle looks like, so that side of the progression was lost on me, but I did enjoy taking on the challenging tracks. Each domain has a distinct visual theme that reflects the domain's champion, and they're striking to look at, with each track being a weaving wave of futuristic wonder. I felt bad whenever I cocked up and smashed into a wall, like I was ruining the picture-perfect scene. It really does look that good. Not realistic, you wouldn't mistake it for real life, but it's got a style that I just really appreciate. The racing itself is fast but fair. It doesn't feel like you need the reflexes of Jedi Jesus boy, but you do need the patience to know when to ease off and when to brake, because the trick here is keeping momentum, and if you can solve the puzzle by finding the right line, you'll be flying with ease, and if you're doing it right, your little spirit racer machine thing should feel like a single ice skate, gliding through ice with no sudden jerky movements, just easy flowing. It sounds like a hippie's description of taking the bus, but the game pushes you in this direction with its trials. These are races that get unlocked as you progress, and they basically serve as backdoor lessons into how to beat the game. They're short challenges that teach you about easing off, braking early, finding the line between bends to maintain momentum and never come out of a turn slower than you went in. They are optional, but I do recommend them. Each race has 2 parts. The first is you against the clock, though oddly there's no on-screen clock, and you don't know what the target times are until you've finished your first run. If you happen to beat the target time on the first go, then the second part is against the ghost of the domain champion and the ghost of your best run. This is the closest you'll come to racing against anybody in a traditional fashion, but it actually serves a purpose, as the ghost you're racing against is also a visual guide for you to follow and learn from, which I thought was a smart move, and I definitely only beat some races after observing the ghost AI and following its lines. I enjoyed Phantom Spark and its minimalist approach. I didn't think I would really get behind the idea of simply racing against set times. But it's not just set times, you are racing against yourself. And I don't know if this is just a sign that I need to take a tea break, but the game started to get into my head. I started chasing those minute improvements, those half seconds, those tenth of a seconds, obsessing over hitting the right line at the right speed at the right time. And the game does not hinder those who are susceptible to addiction and fast gratification. It helps them by having an almost instant restart feature. Tap triangle and you're back at the start. For me, this was not healthy, and every minor mistake, even if it was after just 2 seconds into my run and something just fell off, the vibe was wrong, the aura was bad, the skibbity was very toilet, I would just restart. An average track takes about 35 to 40 seconds to finish, and that's on the slow end, but I must have spent well over 45 minutes on one single track, constantly restarting, wondering how me from 10 minutes ago was so bloody good, and why me now is complete shite. It also doesn't help that I can actually see the ghost of my best time beating me over and over. It's not good for one's mental health, yet the idea of beating the best had me hooked in a cycle that I barely broke out of to produce this review. Phantom Spark is moreish, you could say, like crack, and maybe I'll take a little break from both, at least until the weekend. So if you are going to play Phantom Spark, and if you're a racing fan, you definitely should, do race responsibly. And that is the end of this video. Thank you for watching, it's always appreciated. Every single view is cherished and remembered. No, that's a lie, but you know what I mean. If you enjoyed this video and found it useful, do us a solid, hit the like and subscribe buttons and give the bell icon a ding so you're notified whenever we've got new stuff for you to watch. I've been Chris, you've been gorgeous, and I'll see you on the next one. Until then, cheers my dears.